Hey guys, and welcome back to the best monotype team series for every game. At least, that's what I'd like to say, because today, we have the Darktypes. Now, for the sake of keeping the title, I'm gonna still keep the video titled this. But in all technicality, all of the main series games do not have enough Dark-type Pokemon to be able to make a full team, or they're not obtainable at a reasonable time. So I asked you guys on a community post what we could do for future situations like this, and I came to the conclusion to just exclude any games that don't have the requirements I just mentioned. So for today, that leaves us with Gens 5 through 8, with Kanto, Johto, and Sinnoh being discluded. You could theoretically gen Mons in or trade them in if you have the ability to do so, but not everyone does, so I didn't want to waste any time with those. BDSP is a little easier though because of Pokemon Home, so you can have your fun with Sinnoh if you have some cool dark types to use, and if you want to transfer them in towards the beginning of the game. Before we begin though, I do have the regular rules I'm going to throw down real quick. No version exclusive Pokemon. In most cases, I will explain if I do choose to use them. No trade evos, no egg moves, etc. All the Pokemon featured on these are also available pre-post game. I will not be providing locations, how to get certain Pokemon, what each Pokemon does well against, nor suggesting movesets. I may provide light informations for locations in some cases, but it will not be super detailed. There will be move suggestions sometimes, just not full-blown movesets for each mon. If I did all that, this video would go on for a pretty long time. You guys, however, are more than welcome to suggest movesets in the comment section below. Alright, with that said, I think you guys get it. Be sure to also let me know in the comments below what typing you want to see me cover next. As usual, the typing with the most upvotes will be the one I cover next time. And Mystic Reads and Shorts, the usual shoutouts. Alright, with that said, let's hop in. So, rather than start our usual routine in Kanto today, we head over to Black and White first. Black and White did have enough dark types to make a 5-squad team, so I decided on using it. The Mons, of course, are going to be the only ones accessible, with Liepard, Crocodile, Scrafty, Bisharp, and Hydreigon. Purloin is accessible straight from the get-go when you begin your adventure, so that's a pretty good thing. And then you can evolve it at level 20. I wish there were better options, but this is what has to be used. Next up are Crocodile and Scrafty, and they are definitely going to be the MVPs of the team, and you can find them relatively early. Scrafty's amazing dual typing is going to help you loads in this playthrough, and I can promise it will get you through a lot of the main battles. Crocodile and Scrafty are going to be your best friends, because of Moxie. I can assure you that Crocodile will be appearing a lot in this video, and is more than likely going to be this video's MVP. Scrafty will also be here a bit too. Up fourth is Bisharp. The downside is Pawniard doesn't evolve until level 52, but the in-game availability for Pawniard isn't that bad. Plus the unique typing of Dark and Steel provides the team with a few more resistances. If you have Pokemon Black, you can capture Volibee. However, if you don't, you will have to use a team of 5, with Hydreigon as your last choice. Zweilous can be found in the Victory Road, but you will have to level it up to 64 for it to fully evolve. So while the options are very limited, it is possible to create a dark type team for Black and White. You're gonna have to use 4 Pokemon though for the majority of the playthrough. We're back in Unova once again, and this time we have more dark types to choose from. The team is semi-similar to Black and White, but with a few differences. Liepard, Crocodile, Umbreon, Scrafty, Zoroark, Drapion/Bisharp, and Weavile. Purloin can still be found right at the beginning of the game, so I like the idea of immediately having a dark type and getting an evolution as early as level 20. Next is Crocodile, which I've already explained. Moxie is your best friend. Scrafty makes its return also, and having that fighting typing will be very beneficial, also Moxie. Umbreon now makes its debut. As much as I love my favorite Pokemon, in most cases I usually don't like using it for in-game playthroughs due to it not being very offensively oriented. However, in some cases though, I do like it because for this scenario, it seemed more appealing over a few more dark types, and its defensive capabilities may help out at some point in the playthrough. Next is Zoroark, which is easier to get in Black and White 2 than its predecessor. Zoroark stats-wise is very good, and in most cases, the coverage it provides is fantastic. Hence, I said most cases. For Pokemon Black and White 2, all the coverage it gets are either way too late in the game, or they're not available until the post-game. Regardless though, it's accessible, and it's a great addition to the team nonetheless. Now you got your choice of Drapion or Bisharp. I think both are fine options, but it depends on what you want to use. Do you want a Pokemon you can fully evolve earlier, with a sick ability like Sniper and better speed? Or do you want that dual typing of Steel and Dark, with the cost of an evolution at 52 and a base speed of 70? I'm not trying to downgrade Bisharp at all, because Dark and Steel is a fantastic typing combination. The choice is up to you though. Lastly is Weavile, and you can actually get a Sneasel and evolve it before the Elite Four. Weavile is amazing. Excellent physical attacker with a cool typing literally. Not to mention you also have access to Ice Punch. Bonjour, we are in Kalos now, and I have to say this is probably my favorite of all the teams for this video. We got some great options, and once again, X and Y delivers with the Pokemon available to use. Greninja, Pangoro/Scrafty, Malamar, Crocodile, Bisharp, and Honchkrow. Greninja, I think, is a no-brainer. It's a lot of people's favorite Pokemon, it's a great mixed attacker with excellent speed, and definitely needs to be on this team of Dark types. Even without Protean, it's still solid. Next is your option of either Scrafty or Pangoro. Both options aren't all that different, except Scrafty has Moxie and Pangoro has Iron Fist. Stats are also relatively similar, except Scrafty is more defensive while Pangoro has more HP. Move pools are also pretty similar too. They each have their perks. Third is Crocodile, which I've already mentioned twice. After is Malamar. I thought that dual typing of Psychic could add a little bit of variety to the team, and you can run Contrary with it to your heart's content and do whatever shenanigans you choose. Lastly, because I've already mentioned Bisharp, we have Honchkrow. Honchkrow is your typical mobster bird, and it can hit pretty dang hard. Murkrow isn't version exclusive for a change, so that means it's accessible here. It's available relatively early on, and the Duskstone can be earned via super training. Let's head to Hoenn now. Hoenn provides just enough dark types, so we do get a team out of it. Mightyena, Cacturne, Sableye, Sharpedo, Crawdaunt, and Absol. Mightyena is a similar case to Liepard. Accessible dark type very early on, and evolves at level 18. With Dex Nav 2, Poochyena has the chance to have the Elemental Fangs, so that will help on the coverage front. Up next is Cacturne, but if you're playing Omega Ruby and want to use Shiftry, you can use that if you'd like. Cacturne is underrated to me. Killer design, scary dex entries, decent level up set, and the ability to be a mixed attacker. I'm actually glad it got its time to shine here, because I don't get to talk about it a lot. Sableye is third, and the majority of the time, I wouldn't use it. Here though, because of limited options we gotta work with, we gotta use what we gotta use like always. On the bright side, at least it can help with Brawly. Next are the two Fishing Mons. Both are water and dark types, but they still hit pretty freaking hard. Lastly is Absol, and I'll say it's got decent coverage to round things out. Onto Alola, Pokemon Sun and Moon. Once again, we got some options to pick from, and I'm pretty satisfied with the team I put together. Incineroar, Alolan Muck, Pangoro, Crocodile, Absol, and Weavile. Incineroar is a very good Pokemon for these games, and I'm super happy it has the dual typing of Fire and Dark here. I've used Incineroar a few times for Alola, and it never disappoints. The stats are pretty good, and I love the move options it has available to use. Next is Alolan Muck, and this piece of sludge has the great typing of Poison and Dark. This thing's pretty tanky, it can hit pretty hard on the physical side. I have no doubt it will help out in a tight pinch. The rest of the Mons I've already explained before, and Weavile can still be gotten pre-Elite Four. Sneasel can be captured at Mount Lanakilla outside in the early 40s. And a Razorclop can apparently be gotten from Jangmo. I will leave a video in the description below with that process. Good luck! With Ultra Sun and Moon, the team is the same, except for one difference and an optional choice. This time, Zorora can be obtained at the very beginning of the game. This time too, it actually gets to use its coverage, which you don't have to wait till the late game or post game to do so. Weavile can still be obtained pre-post game as well. Again, Sneasel can be captured at Mount Lanakilla outside in the level 40 range. And once again, I will leave a video down below for the Razorclaw. Once again, good luck! The optional team member is surprisingly Tyranitar. You can encounter Larvitar in the Diglett's Tunnel with a 10% encounter rate. The downside, like all pseudos, is that you have to wait till level 55. If you do have that patience, however, you can replace a team member with Tyranitar. Up next, we're in Gen 8, starting with Galar. This time, we're gonna have a lot of fun, because there's a special Pokemon you can get if you have the Isle of Armor DLC. This team, however, is Obstagoon, Crawdaunt, Urshifu, Grimmsnarl, Crocodile, and Weavile. Obstagoon makes its return from the best normal type teams, and is definitely one of my favorite mons from Sword and Shield. Obstagoon has decent stats, and a pretty good move pool to boot, with access to the elemental punches, steel coverage, and not to mention a good dark stab with Night Slash, which is all it really needs. Plus the design is brilliant. I want to rock and roll all night. Crawdon is next, and I know I explained it before, but you can get Corefish very early on. Third is that special Pokemon I mentioned, Urshifu. This thing shreds. And yes, you can go to the Isle of Armor anytime you want in the main story. So you have this mon pretty much your entire playthrough. I don't need to explain why this beast is good. If you do not want to use this legendary Pokemon, however, Pangoro and Scrafty are also available. Next is Grimmsnarl. That fairy dark type will come in clutch, the stats are great offensively, and its move pool is decent. As usual, I've explained Crocodile and Weavile too. Last up, hop in your time machines, because we're headed to Hisui. This team is similar to Oras in Black and White with the aspect of limited options. Hisui and Samurott, Umbreon, Overquill, Skuntank, Honchkrow, Drapion, and Weavile. Why are there 7 Pokemon instead of 6? Well, that's for you to decide. Which of these dark poison types will you pick? Personally, I like all of them, and they all serve their purpose. I like Overquill a tad more though. Hisui and Samurott is pretty solid, sporting great offensive stats both ways, and having a decent speed stat of 85. It's also got a decent move pool to pick from, like I mentioned in the Water type teams video. Umbreon defensively may actually help out a lot here, especially going up against a trainer like Volo, though I'm sure you're aware of his Lucario and Togekiss. Be careful. Weavile will be this team's MVP and Garchomp's bane. The Razor Claw also isn't very complicated to get here. I'll leave a video down below on how to get that. And with that, another series of typing teams is done. Even though a few games didn't have enough dark types to use, or they were too late, the games that were available had some pretty good options to pick from. I especially like the X and Y one. How about you guys though? Did you like these teams? If so, which one was your favorite? Let me know down below, as well as what typing you'd like to see next. Remember, the typing with the most upvotes in the comments below will be the one I cover next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching my content. With Scarlet and Violet DLC on the way, we have a lot to be excited for. Not just that though, but I've got a bunch of other cool series planned throughout the year that I'm sure you guys will love. If you want to support my other forms of content, over on Mystic Reads, I read fanfics. One of them right now is Road to be a Pokemon Master Kanto Edition, where Ash and Serena start from the very beginning and journey through Kanto together. On Mystic Umbreon Shorts, I do other exclusive Pokemon content such as Pokemon Facts, and on Saturdays I upload my top 5 favorite Pokemon of a type. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an excellent day.